welcome back to the Citizen channel. I hope you're all staying safe and well. And our World Cup update as we look at Monday the 5th of December 2022, day 16 of the World Cup. And yes, we're still in the round of 16. We found out some quarter-finalists. We'll have a chat about that later. Of course, this is a sky blue, well, a tinge of a thread in this one. There's not a lot on the action side. There's obviously interest in the games that are coming up, but not quite much today. So just a little tiny thread, a sky blue thread on this one. So we'll have a look at what's happened in the old World Cup in Qatar anyway. So please join me. If you're new to the channel, please push that subscribe button, push the bell notifications. All things City, of course, with a little bit of difference, like stuff like this as well, when it involves City. It'd be great to have you on board. City past, present and forever, of course. And if you can get a chance, just make an old City fan very, very happy. Just press that little like button or the little thumbs up button. It'll be much appreciated from a chilly City fan, a chilly old City fan at the moment. Can't put the heat on. It's far too expensive. So I'm just trying to wrap up. But I'm not going to put my house coat and my quilt on while I'm doing this, am I? So there you go. Right. So there we go. We'll check out. Please check out also my back home feature, where what I'll do every time 2 or 3 City players got knocked out. I was glad England got through last night. Couldn't do 5, but I have a look at the how they played and perhaps what they can offer coming back to City. And of course, I included a couple of looks at ex-players as well in the latest one. So check out my back home feature, just something a little bit different for you to look at if you get a chance. Right, before we look at the games played on the 5th of December, we look forward to the 2 games on the 6th of December, which I think are the final ones, are they? I think they're right in saying that. Well, I'll tell you later anyway. I lose track with all these games. So obviously 3 p.m. on Tuesday the 6th of December, we've got Morocco. Please, I don't condone gambling when the fun stop. They're 6-1 against to beat Spain, who are the firm favourites, at 4-7 on. So not exactly over the top, but there's probably reasons for that. We'll have a little chat while I'm do a little brief summary. 11-4 the draw. This is at the Education City Stadium. It was a bit of a surprise to see Morocco top their group ahead of Croatia and Belgium. Croatia have just no spoiler alert, you know it anyway. Croatia have just gone through on penalties as I'm recording this, and I'll be sort of finish off the recording later after the later game. But yeah, so ahead of Croatia and Belgium, but 7 points from 9 was a pretty good return, and this included a 2-0 win against Belgium, of course. Spain, well, they're licking their wounds from a 2-1 defeat to Japan, who are no longer with us. Yeah, but let's not forget this was a much changed side from Spain. But I like momentum here. I don't like him when the managers make too many changes and then bring people back in. I mean, this sort of quick fire competition, I think you've got to have a bit of momentum. So not that it'll have I don't think it'll have a big detrimental effect, but I think it does have a minute percentage effect. 4 years ago in the group stage of the World Cup, they both played out a 2-2 draw. Some people predicting it'll be as close again. As far as injuries, Morocco do have some, let's say on the old pet basis, niggles. Let's say they've got some niggles. We don't expect any major names to be missing for this one. For Spain, Raya and Azpilicueta are likely doubts. There's no confirmation, but they look as though they're struggling to make it. But of course, he's still got a pretty strong squad to pick from. I think Morocco will have to perform well defensively, which they have been doing against this talented Spanish attack. And likewise, yeah, if there's any chinks in the Spain's defence, obviously it'll be interesting to see if Morocco can take advantage, as Japan did, whether certain VAR decisions were in their favour or not. They still looks a little bit dodgy at the back. But as I said, it's a weakened team anyway, generally. So if you weaken your team all over the pitch, it will have an effect on the defence. But there we go. We'll see. Morocco have got a chance in this, if they're positive. But my little prediction, I expect Spain to be just too strong. But I think that 4-7 on from the bookies looks generous. But yeah, I can understand it. On to the 7 p.m. kickoff on the 6th of December. Portugal, 10-11. Of course, Spain, we've got City interest, haven't we? Of course, we've got Portugal, we've got City interest. And Switzerland, we've got City interest. Yeah, Portugal plays Switzerland. So we're going to lose at least one player. May lose more, you never know the way Portugal have been performing. Portugal are 10-11 on, so there you are. The bookies aren't totally sure about them. Against Switzerland, who are 7-2. So, yeah, the bookies not running scared, but 10-11, that's not a bad price if you fancy Portugal. 23-10 the draw. This is the Lusail Stadium. Portugal, another team to rest key players, which, as I say, I don't like resting too many in their final group game. And of course, they suffered as well. They suffered the consequences of defeat by South Korea. They've recently met twice, actually, these two teams in the Nations League. Portugal stuffed the Swiss 4-0 at their place, but back in Switzerland, the Swiss achieved a 1-0 win. So they can, all right, they lost 4-1 on aggregate, but they can take the fact that they have beaten the last time they played and take that as a positive. Switzerland came through a hard-earned victory against Serbia, of course, 3-2, showed a lot of character in that game. I think they'll be up for this. And I don't think they'll have any real inferiority complex because I think people have seen weaknesses in Portugal's team this World Cup. Sommer, who was ill last time out for the Swiss team, may return in goal, but both managers have more or less fully fit squads to pick from. Portugal have that little. The manager is a little bit defensive if they go in front, so that's their problem. And if they do go in front, I'm not going to write the Swiss off. They can always get back into it, take advantage of this, as Japan did, of course. But I do expect Spain to be just too good. And my prediction is a narrow Portugal win, perhaps extra time. Or will it go to penalties? But I expect Portugal to sneak through this one. Right, on to the first of our 2 round of 16 matches played on the 5th of December, which I've just mentioned, haven't I? 3 p.m. Japan were 3-1 against to beat Croatia 11-10. There, that wasn't bad, was it? 11-10 against Croatia. 9-4 the draw at Al Janoub Stadium. And obviously that's a 90 minutes. So if you had your 9-4 to draw, you're sorted, aren't you? It was a lively start for Japan. They got close on a couple of minutes, but then it sort of, I wouldn't say it was end-to-end, but obviously neither team really rose above the other. There was a defensive header by Japan on 8 minutes, but Croatia couldn't take advantage. 28 minutes, Croatia put cross after cross in, but Japan managed to get each one out. 41 minutes almost for Japan, who shoot over after some good pressure. And I think that's the tale of the World Cup for Japan when it comes to the crunch, almost. 43 minutes, it was 1-0 to Japan. Yeah, fairly deserved on that first half. Maeda hits home after a ball into the box isn't cleared. After one of these they try little routines from set pieces. So they had one with the corner where he tapped it out to about 3 players, and then actually swung it in, and obviously it wasn't cleared, and Maeda managed to put the ball in the net. So at half time, all good for Japan, 1-0. And I think about Japan is they don't really change the way they play, do they? They're sort of quite defensive, and it seems on the break, and they don't change. So even if they're 1-0 up, they're not going to change how they play. But 55 minutes, Croatia were back in it. Use their experience. Great headed goal. Fantastic in the corner. The goalkeeper had no chance. It was headed in by Perisic from a great crossover on the right. Neither team after that can find that little bit extra, a few half chances. So it goes to the 30 minutes extra time. And I think that was the 30 minutes extra time was similar to the match. Both teams had at least one decent chance in the first half of extra time, but the second half, as they got a bit nervy, didn't want to make any mistakes. It all got a bit, let's get on to penalties. And that's how it ended. And Japan showed perhaps their inexperience on the penalties. The first one was saved. The second one was saved. The third one they scored, but the fourth one was saved as well. So Croatia literally scored 3 out of their 4s and hit the post with the other. Some stuttering runs with these. I think, I don't know why these players, it's obviously, even the best penalty takers tend to do it now. And it's obviously to wind the keeper up and get some sort of commitment from him. But just run up and smack it. It does annoy me. And the Croatian one he missed, the guy who missed it, was an awful penalty. He deserved to miss it. But apart from that, Croatia did okay. So it finished 90 minutes, 120 minutes, of course. Japan won, Croatia won. But Croatia won 3-1 on penalty with a penalty to spare. But they didn't need to take the 5th penalty, Japan or Croatia. XG philosophy within the 90 minutes. My thanks to @XG Philosophy on Twitter. Japan 1.52 and Croatia 1.25. So interesting XG there. Not the greatest game. Unlucky Japan. They just can't quite get into these quarterfinals, can't they? I think they've got to the round of 16 2 or 3 times, but they just can't progress. and Croatia did a job, and they roll on to the next one. So we will go on to the next one. We'll find out who Croatia are playing when we go on to the 7 p.m. kickoff. So it was South Korea, the 12-1 chances. Yes, the bookies didn't give them much hope. They're probably right not to, weren't they? South Korea against Brazil, they were 2-7 on in this game and 9-2 the draw. This was at Stadium 974. As expected, no Edison in this. Interesting change later on. Though Allison actually did come off the pitch, but Edison didn't come on. But a little bit more of that later on. An ex-City player, Danilo, was back from injury as well for Brazil. And it didn't take him long to get going. 7 minutes, Vinny Jr. picks his spot to put Brazil ahead. South Korea set up to have a go, and probably a big mistake it turned out in hindsight, wasn't it? Perhaps they thought they'd outscore Brazil. Oh, well, good luck with that, lads. Then we got two lots of this. I think Mr. Keane was a bit angry about it. I was as well, actually. I mean, they all got in a, waited for everyone to get there, got in a circle, did a jig, and then went away, and then did another little dance, a little group of them. I mean, just go away. Just celebrate. It's just too much for me. I don't like it. All right, it was the first goal, but it happened after every one. It's just annoying. You're a cracking team. This is the round of 16. It's not the World Cup final. It's just, no, I didn't like it. I'm an old fart. I didn't like it. 11 minutes, penalty to Brazil. Neymar slides it in, and more dancing. Yeah, you've scored a penalty, mate. It's not a 40-yard screamer. So no, we'll carry on. 16 minutes, Alisson makes a good save from distance. Korea tries to get a bit of a toe hold back, but that fails miserably. 29 minutes, Brazil just passed the way through Korea, and Richarlison, who again looks okay. Yeah, I'm still waiting for him to have his disaster class. He finished it off after he started it. He started it and finished it off to make it 3-0. And now the flipping coach got involved in the dance routine, doing a funky chicken, I think. No, I think Mr. Keane said it's just disrespect. I mean, that becomes disrespectful then to your opponents. I just hope someone stuffs them and does something similar. 36 minutes, Paqueta side foots a Vinny Jr. dink, and it's 4-0. And that remained the score at half time. And there's no way this was going to be, was it going to be 8-0? Probably not. 47 minutes, Alisson has to make another good save to stop a Son shot. Well, it was off his shoulder anyway. He didn't know too much about it, but he made himself big, that's for sure. 68 minutes, again, Alisson makes another good save, so he cements his spot. Poor Edison's never going to get a look in, is he, unless it's an unimportant game. Yet another save to deny South Korea on 68 minutes. And 76 minutes, yes, finally a consolation for South Korea as Alisson is beaten. Help of a deflection. He took a deflection off one of his defenders from a great strike from 25 yards from Sung Ho. They should have done a jig and a dance, shouldn't they? The South Koreans, they should have just done it. That's what I would have done. They would have told me, guys, look, if you score a goal, take the mick. That's what I would have done. It's a shame they didn't. Alisson went off, yes, but third choice keeper, which is fair enough. He's not going to get lucky either way, is he? So third choice keeper came on. So that was fair enough. I'm not going to quibble over that. I'm not going to say, when Alisson was starting to run off, though, I did think, oh, is Edison coming on for a moment? Yeah, and it finished. There was some half chances for both teams, but I think South Korea probably had the better chances in the second half. But it's hard, isn't it? Hard to get remotivated when you're 4-0 up at half time and you've took the mick already. It must be hard for them. And it finished South Korea 1, Brazil 4, of course. The XG at XG Philosophy. South Korea 0.59 and Brazil 3.65. So there you go. Yeah, a bit of pride saved for South Korea, but they're going home. Brazil sort of shown us for at least half an hour why they are favourites to win this trophy. They did look impressive, although they were helped by a very poor career for that time period as well. But you can only beat what's in front of you, and they did it very, very well. I think defensively, South Korea showed that they do have limitations. Alisson presumably isn't going to be, or we've seen Alisson, but he's not always going to be in that sort of form. He's going to make mistakes, etc. But so defensively they can be got at, but not in the way South Korea went about it. They were a bit gung ho and a bit silly, a bit naive. Let's say they were very naive, not a bit naive. So we've got 3 of the quarterfinals, just 1 to go, which will be sorted tomorrow. Friday the 9th of December now at 3 p.m. we've got in the Education City Stadium, Croatia versus Brazil. Yeah, I'll give you my thoughts on that before that one. Friday the 9th of December at 7 p.m, Lusail Stadium, Netherlands versus Argentina. So they're our first 2. We don't know who's playing on Saturday the 10th of December at 3 p.m. yet, but we know who's playing at Saturday the 10th of December at 7 p.m. at the Albait Stadium. Of course, we've got France versus England. So tomorrow we will find out who our final quarter finalists are. So please join me for that on this World Cup update. Let me know who you fancy. Were you impressed with Brazil? Is it hard in your thoughts that they're going to win this, or do you think they can be got at? And if they can, who's going to beat them? Who's going to beat Brazil? Croatia going to beat them? We'll have to see. Let me know your thoughts anyway, guys. Thanks for watching. Please, until we meet again, please stay safe, everyone. Bye for now.